You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. We begin with new information about the man who allegedly kidnapped a teenage girl from Beaver Dam that he impregnated.
Gary Day was in court in Sarpy County, Nebraska today, where he was arrested earlier this month. In addition to the charges of child abduction and enticement here in Wisconsin, Day faces charges in Nebraska and Arkansas. He pleaded not guilty to the charges of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and false reporting in Nebraska. Day waived extradition to Wisconsin. He'll remain in Nebraska without bond until he's transported back here in the state.
We are also following this incident near Hilldale Mall. News 3 Now observed a large police presence today along Midvale Boulevard. We've reached out to Madison police to try to get more information. We are still waiting for a response.
And another situation we're following nationally. This is a live look at the Hudson River in New York, where a helicopter has crashed. We know at least one person is dead, but we are getting conflicting reports about how many others could be. The crash happened at about 2:15 our time. At least 5 people were on board, 2 adults and 3 children. It's not clear the age of the person who died. We'll continue to monitor this.
We'll be following all 3 of those stories closely, but now let's get a check on the weather. Yesterday we were saying to Alex, where's the rain? Well, it waited a day.
Yeah.
We got it today.
Yeah, we did get some showers across a good portion of southern Wisconsin today, but enter the gold frames because we're going to say adios to the showers and hello to some of the sunshine. But let's track where those showers that still remain left. One lonely little shower along 151 around Columbus in between Sun Prairie and up towards Beaver Dam. So if you're heading northeast, you might run into a few raindrops. The rest of southern Wisconsin pretty much high and dry. It's cloudy out here, a bit on the cool side for this time of year, and future tracks showing maybe just an isolated shower yet throughout this evening, but that should be on the dwindling mode, and then the sunshine is going to be our focus as we go towards Friday. Across southern Wisconsin, again, cool because of the clouds and the few showers, low 40s, upper 40s in southwest Wisconsin. Here in Dane County, a lot of 43s and 44s, lucky to get to 45, and that stands true here as we plan our evening. Clouds, temperatures around 40, and then as we get into the evening, we'll see our low temperatures get down to about 31. But I got some real mild stuff to talk about, the latest on your farmers market forecast, and when we can expect some rumbles of thunder. That's coming up in a little while.
All right, Alex, we'll check back in a bit. Thank you. Mobile electronics and computers are the United States' top 2 biggest imports from China.
So what will President Trump's new tariffs on the country mean for your wallet? Arman Rahman reports.
Whether you need a new phone or computer or need to get your old one repaired, experts say every part inside of our electronics is going to get more expensive due to the new tariffs on China. Currently, tariffs on China sit at 145% as of Thursday, but the numbers go up and down every day. Madison College marketing professor Steve Knoll says companies like Apple and Samsung aren't going to take a gamble and will likely raise their prices regardless to account for the actual numbers down the line. Knoll says you'll start noticing price spikes between now and the next 12 to 18 months.
So even though today people might say, well, these things are a little more expensive, but it's not as bad as I expected, it's because the stuff they're buying was purchased 6 months ago by those businesses.
About 90% of Apple's products are made in China, and about 10% are now made in India. I went to a local Apple repair shop to find out how much more you could be paying for something like a broken screen with these new tariffs. Find out at 5. For now, reporting in Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Arman. According to new research by the Budget Lab at Yale, the president's latest tariffs will cost the average middle-class household nearly $3,500 a year. The new estimates factor in President Trump's 90-day pause on country-specific tariffs and 145% tariffs on Chinese goods, which is currently at 125%. The analysis found lower-income Americans will get hit harder by the tariffs as a share of their total income.
And the president says he's working on a plan plan to withhold all federal funding for any city or state that limits cooperation with federal immigration authorities. He made that announcement in a post on his Truth Social account earlier today. It's not clear what the administration would constitute as a sanctuary policy. Wisconsin does not have official policies that would designate it as such, but the Dane County Sheriff has said he won't cooperate with ICE when it comes to providing certain information to federal officials.
Wisconsin Democrats want voters to decide whether to overturn the landmark 2010 Supreme Court decision that allows dark money to flow into races for elected office. Democrats made the announcement at a news conference earlier today. It comes just weeks after Wisconsinites voted in the most expensive judicial race in American history, with donations coming from the likes of George Soros and Elon Musk. Democrats' proposal would put a referendum on ballots saying only people, not corporations, unions, or nonprofits, have constitutional rights. It would also say money is not speech, meaning limits on political contributions don't amount to political speech. If passed, the referendum would be on the November 2026 ballot. It likely won't pass, though, since Republicans control the legislature.
News developing this afternoon. The chair of Wisconsin's Democratic Party, Ben Wickler, announces he will not seek re-election for the post this summer.
And that leaves one of Wisconsin's two major parties without a clear leader heading into the critical midterm elections that will see Wisconsin's governor back on the ballot. Political reporter Will Keneally has more. Will?
Well, Wisconsin Democrats will select a new state party chair when they meet for their annual convention this June. But from some of the sources that I've spoken with today, we get the sense that Wickler, seen here at the Democratic National Convention down in Chicago, will certainly be missed. Much of the recent victories Wisconsin Democrats have won in the last few years, Wickler has been a leading force in the party behind those wins. He's also known as a prolific fundraiser for Wisconsin Democratic causes. We actually spoke with Wickler just a few moments ago about why he decided to step down now.
When you're on a high note, that's the best time to pass the torch. I feel really good about the future of Democrats in our state, of the opportunity to build a state that works for working people, where everyone's freedom and dignity is respected. And knowing that the state party is in such superb shape, it means that I can take a step back. I can take a breath.
Now, there's an open question to who might replace him. We've only had one name confirmed, Devin Remaker, who used to run the day-to-day operations of the state party as executive director. Milwaukee-based Democratic operative Joe Zepecki, Western Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District Democratic Chair William Garcia, and Madison State Senator Kelda Royce. Those last three have been floated but not confirmed yet. But again, a couple of big questions that we have about who might emerge from that group of four there. I get the sense, though, from some of the sources that I've spoken to, that Democrats don't want this to be a bloody internal fight. So we may see some kind of backroom wheeling and dealing throughout the weekend here.
Ben Wickler has been very high profile. He's pretty much a household name in Wisconsin after the election. Is he getting out of politics, do you think? Or I know he was floated for a job on the national level.
Tough to say.
Yeah, he didn't really say what he's going to do next. Do we have any idea?
We think so. Democrats have floated his name. If Evers were not going to seek re-election next fall, he might have been floated as a possible candidate statewide. He said that he's not imminently planning to run for any office. He encourages those people in office right now to run for re-election next fall. So again, kind of touching on that Evers point there. He said he wants to maybe take a step back, write a book. So I think we'll still see him around politics. But again, who knows?
We'll see.
November 2026 is a long time away.
That was actually my question. I see the internet machine already chattering about what he's going to do next if he's going to run. So time will tell, I suppose.
Yeah, I will say, too, National Democrats have used Wisconsin as a playbook. They have studied what Ben Wickler has done here at length. So I would expect that we see him in politics, certainly either in Wisconsin or nationally here to come.
Very good. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Well, next on Live at 4, we'll provide an update to the deadly helicopter crash in the Hudson River.
And whether Republicans were able to pass a reconciliation bill. We'll be right back.
We're back. This is a live look at the Hudson River in New York, where a helicopter crashed. The AP is now reporting 6 people died in the crash, which happened at about 2:15 our time. Videos posted to social media showed the Bell 206 mostly submerged, upside down in the water. Multiple rescue boats were seen circling the aircraft. A budget outlining the president's plans is working its way through Congress. The House voted 216 to 214 to adopt the budget blueprint earlier today, after GOP leaders got support from conservative holdouts who wanted deeper spending cuts. Democrats have come out against the blueprint, saying it will make cuts to Medicaid, something Republicans deny.
No one has talked about cutting one benefit in Medicaid to anyone who's duly owed. What we've talked about is returning work requirements.
House Republicans plowed ahead on a morally and financially bankrupt plan to gut Medicaid while cutting taxes for billionaires.
Despite Republicans' claims, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the budget will require gutting Medicaid. This plan will bypass the 60-vote threshold required to pass most legislation in the Senate. And that means the budget bill can pass the Senate without any support from Democrats.
Fisher-Price has recalled over 200,000 brunch-and-go stroller toys because of a choking risk. It features a plush avocado toast with 3 smaller toys hanging off the front of it, a tomato, a piece of bacon, and an egg teether. The issue is with that egg teether attachment. Fisher-Price has received 5 reports of the yolk of the egg cracking and breaking off in small pieces that babies can choke on, but luckily no injuries have been reported so far.
And let's get a look at our first warning forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington is here. I'm looking forward to a warmer weekend, I will say.
And so am I, and I bet there's lots of people on the other side of that camera there that are looking forward to warmer weather, and I got it for you. A couple showers, though, first we still have to contend with. We're just going to go up the road here on 151 between Sun Prairie and Beaver Dam. Just a couple raindrops. If you happen to be heading out in that direction, don't be surprised to have the windshield wipers going just a little bit. But windshield wipers aren't going to be going like this across much of southern Wisconsin now. Those showers are few and far between, not expecting much in the way of drops for the rest of tonight. But our temperatures will drop. As skies start to clear out late, we'll see temperatures right around 30 degrees, a little bit warmer off towards the west, towards the Mississippi River. That's where warmer air is going to start to move in from the west. Tomorrow we'll get back up into the mid-50s, a few clouds. At times we'll have sun. Our average high is 55, so we're right back on the money again with our temperatures. The cool stuff will push off towards the east. And let's track. Here comes the skies clearing out right around 2 o'clock in the morning. Look at all the clear. No white on future track. Maybe a passing cloud as we go throughout the day from time to time, but we will also have sunshine as well. So partly sunny skies on Friday will lead to those warmer temperatures. Farmers Market Farmers Market Saturday, I should say, 61. Winds are light. This is going to be a beautiful spring day, in my opinion. 66 on Sunday. Chance of some thunderstorms. I'm going to give you a glimpse of those thunderstorms here right now. Sunday morning, we could have a couple of thunderstorms as even warmer air moves into southern Wisconsin, and a bit more in the way of humidity as well as we get into Sunday afternoon. Then the cold front comes through from the west, producing a few more scattered thunderstorms. Not everyone's going to see a storm on Sunday, and I do want to underline right now the first one weather team, we're not anticipating at this point in time that these thunderstorms will be on the severe side, which is certainly good news. But a couple of thunderstorms nonetheless as we go into Sunday, and that thunderstorm chance continues into Sunday evening and overnight as that cold front makes its way across southern Wisconsin. Can't forget about tonight if you're going to be stepping outdoors. Temperatures on the cool side, you want a jacket, maybe a hat, maybe some gloves. Cloudy skies. As we get a little bit later into the evening, the skies will turn partly cloudy, and then we will go clear once we get past midnight. Kind of a recap of the forecast for tonight. There's that front Sunday going into Monday. Seasonable by the time we get to Wednesday. Another weather system Thursday and Friday. Some indications that my 60s next Saturday and Sunday could be on the low side. We could be warmer than that. We'll keep an eye on that. There could be a big warm up for parts of the Midwest. Now we had today's tornado drill across the state at 1:45 p.m. again at 6:45 p.m. tonight. I just want to again impart continuation as part of Severe Weather Awareness Week, tornado safety. When I say that there's a tornado warning, you need to go into the center part of your house. Again, right now we're not experiencing any severe weather, but just you need to know and prepare and plan where is that safe place in your house. Center part of your house. If you don't have a basement, a bathroom offers protection because that piping goes down deep into the ground, but the basement is most certainly the best place to be during a tornado. Brady, Susan, hopefully we don't have any severe weather this season. Last year, again, I keep saying this over and over again, we had enough for a lifetime last year.
I would say so. Yeah, good vibes this year. Thanks, Alex. Well, the Mount Horeb High School Music Department has a big year ahead and in the 608 and beyond.
Josh Breiter paid them a visit to learn why the community's support is so important.
More than 200 kids at Mount Horeb High School have been selected to participate in the 2026 New Year's Day Parade in London. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these students, but in order for it to happen, they need the community's help to get them there. I caught up with the music department to see what makes this group so special.
It forms a community, and a lot of times it gives someone a place to belong and feel included. I also do a lot of sports and activities, and in that sense, it gets me that kind of feel because it's about trying and putting forth that effort, and not only in academic class. For a lot of students, this is the only opportunity they'd have to be able to travel out of the country.
Carlin Ramos is a sophomore at Mount Horeb High School. He plays trombone and loves doing the slides and jazz improv. Although the Viking band show happening this weekend is his favorite event, he tells me he's looking forward to traveling to London for the new year. And for his teacher, Mr. Dorner, that is music to his ears and watching students grow.
For me, I was a really intense music kid, and I didn't see that music has a place for everybody, and I needed to make a place for everybody. I thought it was just for the diehards, and it turns out we have a lot of students with varying levels of interest, but that brings a lot of kids in music who wouldn't be there before. For us to perform, though, for literally 500,000 people and about 1/3 of a billion worldwide in the television audience, it's a really big, unique, exciting thing to do. It's twice as big as the Macy's Parade. We are literally the featured entertainment. We're almost kind of quasi-celebrities when we go over there, and that's really exciting for our kids because here in town it's cool, but we're one of a lot of things, and there it's really unique.
This is video from 2017, the last time the music department at Mount Horeb High School was able to perform in London. So they're very much looking forward to finally being able to go back with a new group of students. So here's how you can help. The department has 3 exciting fundraising opportunities. The first is a silent auction happening now, packed with many items, which closes on Saturday. Then on Sunday, May 4th, there's a special Parade of Homes tour in Mount Horeb. Tickets are $20. Finally, enjoy a VIP tour of Taliesin with Mr. Dorner on Saturday, May 10th. This is a $150 a ticket experience and includes many new ideas. Oh, and by the way, the Viking band show kicks off tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. Limited tickets are still available, so get them before they are gone. For more on how you can help, just visit the story at channel3000.com. In the 608, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
I like what Mr. Dorner said about music having a place for everyone, and I'm glad that those kids are finding their place and having such success.
I agree.
Yeah.
And how exciting to go to London.
Congratulations.
Very excited for them.
Well, coming up on Live at 4, Easter Seals Wisconsin is hosting its 6th annual celebrity basketball experience this weekend.
The former Badgers you may see there, and how you can help support the cause to support people with disabilities when Live at 4 continues.
Well, some former Badger athletes are returning to Madison this weekend to help support people with disabilities.
This is a great event every year. Easter Seals Wisconsin is hosting its 6th annual Celebrity Basketball Experience. It's on Saturday at Madison College. Zach Morley is a board member for Easter Seals. Hi, Zach. Good to see you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You have been at all 6 of these, and you actually were instrumental in creating this event.
Correct.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, Andy Crooks and I, a former football player for Wisconsin, he and I, 6 or 7 years ago, got together and it's like, what can we do to get other former athletes involved, more involved with Easter Seals? And this was something that we thought that people would enjoy, and it's been a success so far with the basketball game.
Yeah.
Very nice. What can people look forward to this year?
Yeah, so it's a fun, family-friendly event. So think less basketball and more
fun.
Have fun. It's, we'll have Bucky Badger will be there this year. Bernie Brewer and the Racing Sausages will be there. Maynard. So it's interactive. Kids come out on the court, interact with the former players, as well as this year the UW Whitewater women's wheelchair team will be there.
Oh, that's
so that'll be a fun aspect that we haven't had in the past.
And here's some video from a past event. Look at all those happy faces.
You have a skills clinic first, where kids can learn actual basketball drills, and then you have the game. Right?
Correct. Yep. So for kids 3rd through 8th grade, Coach Close, one of my former assistants at at Wisconsin runs the clinic, free clinic for kids. Sign up, come, enjoy, some fun, some learning from basketball. The former players will be there as well, and then after that, the game.
Well, for people who aren't familiar with Easter Seals Wisconsin, I found this sort of mission statement on the website, and one of the things you do: increase independence, maximize opportunities, minimize barriers, and enhance quality of life for people with disabilities. For the people who encounter those barriers, or maybe just feeling like they're forgotten or they don't belong, what does it mean to you to give them these opportunities?
Yeah, that's the reason I got involved with Easter Seals initially, and have been on the board now for quite a few years. It's a way to give back to the state. The state's been great, from our athletes too. It's a way for us all to give back to a state that's given a lot to us, and give back to everybody. It's giving those opportunities to everybody, whether it's the summer camps or the farm program or different programs that Easter Seals provides for people, adults and children throughout the state with disabilities.
The summer camps are incredible and very popular every year. Our former anchor Charlotte DeLeste used to take her son Gio to the Easter Seals camp every year. You do a lot in the community. So is all of the money raised from this going to support a lot of different programs?
Correct, yep. So it all just goes to all the services that Easter Seals provides, as well as, I would say, the idea behind this game is just to have a fun event for families, for kids to get involved with and see that no matter what your ability level is, you can play basketball, you can do different things, you can have these opportunities that, maybe not everyone knows that are out there for people with disabilities.
Before we go, remind everyone, how can they go to this and where should they go?
Yep, so it's at Madison College on Saturday. The Skills Clinic is at 1 o'clock. The game is at 3 o'clock, but you can go to eastersealswisconsin.com, and right when on the website it pops up, and you can get tickets, you can register for the Skills Clinic, you can do everything right there.
Perfect. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Zach, for being on
thank
with
you.
us.
Have a great event, and
All right,
thanks to you for all you do at Easter Seals.
Thank you.
Yeah, have fun too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Coming up on Live at 4, how Wall Street is reacting to Washington's trade war with China.
Plus, you may have seen these billboards around the city. Ellie La Liberté tells us what they mean when we're back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Oh, look at that. Everyone's racing home on the Beltline to watch Live at 4. Oh, but here are our weather words. The sun comes out tomorrow. It is looking pretty cloudy out there.
Yes, it is indeed, and the sun will try its hardest to make a reappearance tomorrow. There'll be some filtered clouds on Friday as well, but we'll have certainly a little bit more sun tomorrow than what we have today. We're just socked in with clouds here right now. We're expecting mid-50s tomorrow, so back up to normal we go. Enter the gold shades because it will be a warm-up day. Future track showing any isolated showers that we have dwindling as we go through the overnight hours, and then the skies will clear later tonight. Temperature right now, because of the clouds, few showers we've had, 43 in Madison, 40 in Camp Douglas, 45 in Janesville, and 45 in Platteville. Here in Dane County, what do we got? We got 42 in Deerfield, 44 in Middleton, 45 in Belleville, and 42 up to the north, up towards Wanakee and DeForest. We'll stay in the 40s tonight. You're going to need your jacket. You're going to need maybe some gloves and a hat yet tonight if you're going to maybe go out for a walk, take the dog for a walk. And we'll get down into the 30s overnight. Coming up in Maine weather, I'm going to show you the clearing out of those clouds tonight and also give you a glimpse of some thunderstorm chances in the forecast for Sunday.
All right, Alex, thank you. We have new information this afternoon about the man who allegedly kidnapped a teenage girl from Beaver Dam who is pregnant with his child.
Gary Day was in court in Sarpy County, Nebraska today. In addition to the charges of child abduction and enticement in Wisconsin, Day faces charges in Nebraska and Arkansas. He pleaded not guilty to the charges of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and false reporting in Nebraska. Day waived extradition to Wisconsin. He'll remain in Nebraska without bond until he's transported either here or to Arkansas. And this is a live look at the Hudson River in New York, where a helicopter broke apart midair and crashed upside down. This happened at about 2:15 our time. The AP reports all 6 people on board died in the crash, and 3 of them were children. We'll continue to follow this story throughout News 3 Now's newscasts.
Today, White House officials say that tariffs on China will jump to 145%, one day after President Trump put a pause on tariffs for other countries except China.
Our Meryl Hubbard shows us the hit this could have on hardware shops in Madison.
How do tariffs impact tools? Well, here at Isthmus Hardware, it can make it harder for them to hammer down on prices for their customers.
We have to constantly fluctuate with the market.
Isthmus Hardware in downtown Madison buys all their tools from True Value, and True Value outsources most of their products from overseas.
I'm just going to have to keep up with cost increases and upping the retail likewise.
Greg Norman is the owner, and he got an email this week from True Value saying that 2/3 of their products will be impacted by changing tariffs. Now that there's a 90-day pause on tariffs for some countries and boosted ones on China, Jason Shaw, the manager, says
It's really hard for us to keep up with with what the price is going to be tomorrow, next week. I mean, hopefully it'll stabilize. Like, we got 90 days now, but in 3 months, are we going to have to be re-stickering our whole store again, which I don't want to do that.
Both Jason and Greg say they're trying to get the best deals for their customers. Reporting in downtown Madison, Meryl Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Meryl. We have new information about inflation, the index that tracks the change in prices of goods and services over time, rose 2.4% on an annual basis. It shows progress in the Federal Reserve battle to bring down the rate to 2%. That's better than what economists predicted. Prices also fell 0.1% on a monthly basis, marking the first time that rate has fallen in nearly 5 years. The lower inflation rate is in part due to lower fuel prices. Despite the president's tariff pause, some have gone into effect, which could mean inflation will pick up later this year.
That report didn't help Wall Street, where fear of the president's trade war with China remains at a high level. The Dow lost 1,015 points, the Nasdaq is down 738, and the S&P 500 lost 189 points.
Well, what does the word drift mean to you? That's the question one Dane County artist is trying to get an answer to.
Our Ellie LaLiberte shows us how he's using billboards to do so.
Billboards are something you're more likely to see on your commute to work. But one local artist wants you to take a closer look and look up.
I've taken 10 words that I've collected for quite some time, and I've placed them on these billboards, and the billboards are all around Dane County.
For years, Madison artist Thomas Farella has wanted to put his one-word poetry on billboards.
It's simple, and billboards are never simple.
The project, called Drift, is the latest installation. His goal isn't political or religious. He just wants people to think.
How do I get the viewer to be the artist, to create their commentary, to create their dialogue?
Some of the words include wonder, reason, and begin.
And I'm more interested in words that allow you to think outside of any sort of deep emotion. And it's harder than you think.
Farella paid for the billboards out of pocket.
I'm happy to share it with the community. I love the idea that the community is getting it for the most part. So that just reinforces my creative endeavors.
Reporting in Madison, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Oh, 2 words for you, Ellie. Thank you. The billboards will be up for about 10 more days.
Coming up on Live at 4, Dr. Zorba Pastor stops by. We're going to talk about cannabis use disorder.
The signs and risks it poses to your health.
Recent research suggests that 3 in 10 cannabis users will develop something called cannabis use disorder. It's defined as being unable to stop using weed, even though it's causing health and social problems.
2 new studies are raising alarms about how cannabis use disorder is linked to changes in the brain. Dr. Zorba Pastor is here. Hello.
Hi, Zorba.
Good to be here.
Good to see you.
Here.
What are these studies saying?
Well, studies are saying beware. So let's look at this. So first first of all, using cannabis years ago, like when I was in college, and let me tell you, that was years ago, was obviously illegal. You were worried about things, but now it's legal in many states. Not in our state, but many people go down to the state of Illinois and get their cannabis, or they go to Minnesota and do the same thing. And you think of it as innocuous. So people just think, well, I can get stoned all the time. And some people are vaping, especially since vaping doesn't mean you have to light something out, and are vaping throughout the day. It's becoming more and more common. And if you look at people, and for instance, even in downtown Madison, you have people going outside and they're not necessarily vaping tobacco products, they're vaping cannabis products. So this particular study looked at psychosis and cannabis, and is there a link? And there were MRI studies that seemed to show that they activate some of the same pathways. Now, if you look at what cannabis it does, actually, it causes an altered perception, which is what happens with psychosis. It causes a delusional disorder. You begin to think you can do things that you can't do. I mean, that's part of it. It's not like alcohol. Alcohol is a different sort of altered perception, delusional. And the third thing it produces is suspiciousness, which is like paranoia. And that is a common side effect. So for people who are at risk, this becomes a problematic issue. And I think we're not looking at it as, hey, it's inebriant, and if you're doing it every day, it's a bad thing to do.
Well, it's probably people who feel that it has real benefits. It sounds like if some is good, more is better, and that's not how it works.
Well, you know, it's temperance in all things. So maybe I have a patient of mine who goes down to Illinois. He must be like 76. He has lots of arthritis. He doesn't want to be on an opioid because, because they are very addictive. They produce problems. He goes down and he gets a gummy which has 10 milligrams of THC, takes a quarter of it every night, and he can sleep. That's okay. But if he were stoned throughout the day on it, that's the different issue. And I think we just have to have, because it's legal now, a different perspective in that, like any inebriant, it is an inebriant, and it's not good to use on a regular basis.
Yeah, I've been hearing some celebrities who have talked openly about using it and having concerns about their short-term memory and some of the things that...
And that is the other thing. I mean, it affects you. So it can affect your memory, your perception, your ability to cognate and make decisions. And if you are essentially smoking it or vaping it every single day, you're not necessarily even aware of it, because you're not sitting there and taking a drink out of a bottle, right? Or you're not lighting up and doing it that way because it's available in a vape form, and it sort of seems innocuous, and it's not. It has to be treated with respect.
I think we've all seen people out on the street or wherever where they have that device, and it's like a...
Right. Oh, yes.
A habit, I guess.
Right. And we had a good friend of ours who came to visit us 2 years ago from California. He taught with Penny, was there, and throughout the day he just kept on intermittently vaping, on the pen. And I asked him, I said, why are you doing that? He said, oh, it doesn't bother me. It's okay. I do it every single day and it doesn't seem to do much. Well, the answer is, if you look at the THC in his bloodstream, it's there every day. Not good. Just like drinking every day so you're inebriated is not good. It's not good to take this. And the studies now show it may affect the pathway if you are at risk for schizophrenia. And of course, we don't know who's at risk and who isn't.
That's interesting. And like you said, as it becomes legalized in more places, access has increased.
Right.
So
It's
pretty much ubiquitous
now.
Yeah, it's all around. Yeah, when I have a 78-year-old guy who goes, who is formerly was a ranger, and he's 78, and he goes down to Illinois to get something, even though it's illegal in Wisconsin, he doesn't care.
Right. Well, and if you do need help, you can call the 988 crisis line. It operates 24 hours, 7 days a week if you are feeling like you need someone to talk to or a resource available.
Yes.
It's a very important resource.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on with us.
Thanks, Orba. Good to see you.
We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Well, later on Live at 4, move over, Margot Robbie. There's a new Barbie in town. Well, actually, he's just Ken.
Which pro athlete is going plastic and where you can find him? We'll tell you when we come back. Here's a live look at the duck pond. We have a new camera set up now at Warner Park. Isn't that great? Just ahead of the mallard season. They're getting ready for ball out there. And all we need now is a little sunshine and temps out of the 50s. We're getting there, right, Alex?
Yes, bring it on. And hey, heads up. folks over at the Mallard Stadium. Just a couple showers up the road from you. Don't be surprised if you get a raindrop or two, but it'll come through pretty quickly. Not expecting it to be a gully washer or widespread by any means. Just look how sparse the rain shower activity is just east of Madison. And as we put future track into motion tonight, showers go away, skies start clearing out by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That'll allow our temperatures to get cold tonight. Temperatures will then rise on Friday because a good portion of the day will start off sunny, and then a few passing clouds will fill in as we get into the afternoon. So some sun on Friday and warmer temperatures as well. Cool tonight, 31, 37 in Prairie du Chien. So a little warmer to the west. That's where our weather is coming from. We'll be in the 50s tomorrow, back to normal. Gold shades to match a little bit of that warmer weather and the return of that sunshine. Got water chances Sunday going into Sunday night at about 40% coverage or so. We're keeping an eye on a cold front that's going to come through the area as we go into Sunday. This is what that looks like Sunday morning. Don't be surprised Sunday morning to hear a couple rumbles of thunder. This is that warm and a little bit more humid air trying to come into southern Wisconsin as we get into the afternoon hours, drying out for a bit, but then kaboom, a couple more thunderstorms pop up as we go into the afternoon and into the evening. Right now, the First Warn Weather Team, we're not expecting severe weather with this front. These will be more of what I call the more garden variety thunderstorms. But remember yesterday, or it might have been the day before, as I was imparting some severe weather awareness week tips for you, when thunder roars, go indoors. It's going to be a nice weekend. So if you're going to be out and about on Sunday and you hear any thunder, head on inside because that's the best thing to do. You want to stay safe, even just with garden variety storms. A couple more storms carrying on into Sunday evening, but notice that there are also dry areas as well. So some folks may not get anything at all with that cold front coming through Sunday night going into Monday. A few showers on the backside of that weather system, cooler on the backside of that weather system. A pleasant day on Wednesday, and then we warm up Thursday ahead of another weather system that carries on into Friday. Some indications are right now I'm going conservative in the low to mid 60s Saturday and Sunday of next week. Some indications that we could be warmer than that as we go out a little bit further into the future. And we haven't done a viewer photo in a while. I have here in quotes, look closely at this picture, red mounds. This is actually blue mounds, but if you look at the top of the mound, it has this tint of red to it because the sunrise is casting its light on the blue mounds, giving it that red color for this time of year. Peggy, thank you so much for sending us that photo. And if you're sitting at home or you're able to scan that QR code, get your phone out right now. Come on, let's do it. Scan that QR code and we'll see your photos get submitted to our portal so we can share your weather photos, just like we did here with Peggy's photo. Live at 4 continues in just a bit. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, friends, are you looking for some more Kenergy in your life? A new doll based on a big-time pro athlete may help.
NBA superstar LeBron James is teaming up with Mattel for his very own Ken doll. The company says the doll celebrates King James' championship caliber skills on the court and his contributions as a cultural curator and trendsetter. Snazzy dresser, too, right, Brady?
Yeah.
The LeBron James Ken doll will capture LeBron's fashion sense on and off the court. It will be sold starting next week for a suggested retail price of $75 at select Target stores and at assorted retailers online.
Apparently, Mattel is calling this the Ken-bassador series, ambassador, so.
How tall is it?
Tall, actually, that's the thing. They made it taller than the real
Did
Ken.
they?
Yeah, because he's tall.
And you said they've been doing these celebrity collabs.
Yeah.
There's a Reba one, and he doesn't have it.
Yeah, you don't have that.
So we're got to get you that for Christmas.
Okay, I'm ready. All right, our meteorologist Ken doll. What's the weather looking like?
We mean that as a compliment.
I will take it. I will take it. I know I've been saying the sun will not come out today, but it will come out tomorrow. And sunny on Saturday. Beautiful day for the farmers market. Some storms in the forecast by Sunday.
And then you can sing it at 6 or 5.
That's right.
All right. We'll be right back. Tomorrow on Live at 4, Will Loper will show us what's streaming this weekend. And coming up later at 6, Madison police show our Tanasia Shaw how to react if you find yourself in an active shooter situation. That's coming up tonight at 6. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today, everybody. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.